So we are going to continue on putting our recipe book together. Structure and printing. So I was asking show of hands of those who have already started to work on their books, whether by handwriting or by Canva. Michaela and Shanaki has already started. Their hands are up. Right. Michaela is using Canva and Shanaki is using, she's handwriting hers. Yes, and Casey. Casey, are you using Canva or handwriting?
I'm using Canva.
Okay, wonderful. And have you completed your cover page?
Yeah, I've just sent it off so mommy can send it to you.
Okay. Is there anyone else who have completed their cover page? Okay.
No, miss. I
So
haven't.
I want you to work.
My mommy said that I
Okay.
handwrite.
You're going to handwrite it?
Yes, miss.
Did you say you're going to handwrite it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. So I want to show you, let me show you. I want to show you, this is, oh boy. I showed too much just now. So are you seeing on the screen?
Yes, miss.
So this is, right, this is Kylie's, this is Kylie, sorry, this is Kylie's cover page, and I really like it. It's very artistic, and the title of her book is very bold, right? And she also put her name. So, you know, here's a little inspiration. You don't have to do it exactly like Kylie's own, but you know, it's an encouragement and inspiration for you to do yours, right? If you cannot draw, you can always cut out pictures from other books and um, paste it on it, glue it on it to add some color. You can cut out some vegetables or equipment and so on. All right. All right, so we're at class 5. Anyone wants to share what they have learned so far? Is there anyone who wants to share what they have learned from the previous classes? Just briefly.
That if we cook, we have to make it delicious.
Yes. Yes. We have to be patient. We have to be patient. Right? And so even in the kitchen, we can learn the character traits that God wants us to learn as children and as adults. Right? Any other character traits that we can learn in the kitchen other than patience? And I want you to also make note of these things. Maybe I should have given that assignment to make a list of all the character traits that we can learn in the kitchen. Anyone wants to share?
Creativity.
Yes, creativity, because God is the master of creativity, right? And likewise, He wants us to to um to also show forth that we are indeed created in his image. Right? Yes, Michaela? Yes, Michaela said patience again. Yes. Any other? Shana K?
Always. You must always have love in your cooking.
Yes, we must cook with love. Right? We must cook with love and joy. Cook with love and joy. And thankfulness, gratitude. All right, so let's continue. Oh, what am I doing? I'm sorry. What am I doing? I'm not sure what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm sharing a quotation from the book Reflecting Christ. It says, each gospel prophecy and explanation of another, every truth, a development of some other truth. The types of the Jewish economy were made plain by the gospel. Every principle in the Word of God has its place, every fact its bearing, and the complete structure in design and execution bears testimony to its author. Such a structure no mind but that of the infinite could conceive or fashion. So when we look at the Bible and how it is set up, you have the Old Testament and you have the New Testament. How many books do we have in the Bible?
66.
Yes. Yes, we have 66 books in the Bible. And do you think that all those 66 books are in order, or did somebody just put them whichever way that they want to put them?
They are in order.
Yes, they are in order. And who did that order come from? Yes, came
God.
from God. Right. So the Bible, as it has been given to us, it is written in a specific order, right? And sometimes we may be reading the Bible and, it may seem as if we're reading about something that should have been recorded over in Genesis, but we're reading about it in Matthew or so on. God structured it in a particular order, though it may seem as if it does not really fit where it is. God is the one who put it in that order. And as we continue to study, we understand why each book is where they are written in the Bible. And so, likewise, as we put together our um, recipe books, our cookbooks, they must be in order, right? They must be in a specific order. The cover page that tells the name of the book and so on, it should not be in the middle of the book. It must be where?
The
Where
beginning.
must the cover page be from? Right, it must be at the beginning, at the front of the book, right? So as we put together our books, we want to have them in a decent order, right? So even as persons go through our books, they will be able to um, recognize that we are people of God under God's order as well. All right. So as we construct our books, we would have started to work on our cover page, right? And then we want to move on to our table of contents. Can somebody explain to me what is a table of contents?
It tells you what's in the book and what the book is about, I think.
Yes. Anyone else?
The pages that you are going to find next to it.
Yes. Anyone else wants to share?
The location of each
Right. So
recipe
it
in the book.
tells it gives, yeah, so it gives us a list of all the, as it say, contents. It's a table, meaning a list of the contents of what you will find in the book, right? Or the topics that you will find in the book, right? So the name itself actually tells what it is about, right? So we're going to write our table of contents. I let- I'll show you an example. I'll show you an example, and then you will have you can have an introduction or a welcome note, as in you can just say what the book is about. You can also do this on the back page as well, right? So on the opposite, well, on the falling opposite of the cover page, meaning the back, sorry, the back of the book, you can also put a little welcome note or a little just a little information why you wrote the recipe book, or what the recipe book is really about, right? For example, you can say that this recipe book was inspired by God to put together simple recipes to help other children to eat better so that they can glorify God. I hope that you will improve in health as you try these recipes and share them with others. So you can write something like that, right? Just a little, just a little note of introducing the book. Again, it can come after the table of contents, or you can put it at the back of the book. Or at the back of the book, you can just put another picture of one of your dishes or something, right? Next, you can have this is optional. You can include in your book some simple kitchen safety rules. So you don't have to, but you can, right? Can you give me an example of a kitchen rule? Anyone?
Careful when using knives.
Yes, be
No
careful when
playing
you're
fire.
no playing with the fire. Be careful when you're using knife.
And clean up spills.
Yes, clean up spills. Sharon said be careful when using electrical devices. Right.
Sure, you should not put
Right.
in
So you
something
can
that is bad.
No
you
playing
should
with
not
sharp
what?
tools.
Yes, no playing with sharp tools.
Play
What did
with
you say,
sharp
Akemi? Yes, no
You
playing
should
with sharp tools.
not play with something that is bad. Especially you cannot put something in your food that is bad.
Okay. Yes, don't play with matches or lighters or
And no
knives.
coughing
Right?
over the food.
No talking over the food, no coughing over the food and all that. Remember hygiene as well. So you can make one of your pages, you can include little tips like those, little rules, um, like those inside your recipe book. Another thing that you can include, you don't necessarily have to, but you can, is to make a chart of different cooking terms and tools. So you're remember our cookbook is not just about recipes, but you can make it an educational book as well. You don't want to overflood it with things and just two recipes and a whole lot of other information. But you can also include like cooking terms like steaming. So you can put what steaming means. You can write the word steaming, and then you can write what it means. You can also, you can, let me ask you, what other cooking terms can you put and then put the meaning? I want, I don't want to give you everything. I want you to express so that I can see that you understand. What other cooking terms can you include? What does cooking terms mean? Cooking terms mean words that are related to cooking. Let's give the meaning of them. For instance, boiling. So you can write the word boiling. And let me, I should have, right. So you have some water in a pot and you allow it to come to a boil, right? And you then place, like if you're making pasta, and it says that put the pasta in boiling water. What if the person does not understand what boiling water means? So you have the term boiling, and you explain that it's to allow the water to come to a boil, meaning that it's rolling. It's rolling, right? It's not gently simmering, it's rolling rapidly. It's rolling fast, it's bubbling very hard. So you can write those simple meanings, right? Any other cooking terms?
Simmer.
Yes, simmer, steaming, right. Cutting, even like if you write, there's a word called julienne. Does any does anyone know what that means in terms of cutting? Right, so it's like when you have the carrots and you cut them into thin strips. It's called julienne. But they have a whole lot of different um names under that because they have different size cuts. But the most popular one is called julienne. Right, so you can write those simple little cooking terms, just a few of them. Right, you can include that in it as well. You can also include tools, especially if you want persons to use better cooking tools and so on. So you may include tower, and you can tell what a tower is, or you can have a little picture. Does anyone know what a tower is? If I don't think I have anyone here from Trinidad, but the Trinidadians would know what a tower is.
I have
Does
one.
anyone know what right? Can you explain what a tower is, Casey?
It's a kind of iron plate that you put on a fire, and you can use it to make stuff like cassava bacon, stuff like that, and roti.
Yes. So it's like a flat frying pan without any edges on it, any sides. It's just flat, like a flat plate with a handle. And as Casey say, you will put like your flatbreads, your roti, your crepes, your pancakes. Right. So you can put little kitchen tools like that on it. You can maybe show different types of knives, like a paring knives, like if you're going to cut, if you're going to make your garnishes, you would use a paring knife. You can put like a bread knife and just show the different pictures. Again, you don't have to, but you can include little things like these that you think you would like to share with others. Oh my God. All right. Another thing that you can include, you don't have to, but you can, is a measurement sheet. I did have, let me show you. So you could include a sheet like this. This one is not as clear, but you could include a sheet like this that shows the measurement conversion. So sometimes a measurement may call for one tablespoon of flaxseed, but what if you don't have any tablespoon? Then it means that you would use 3 teaspoons. All right. You understand? So you can look up a measurement chart similar to this one. This one is not as clear, but you can use something like this, right? And even for your own sake, or for those who will be using your recipe book, it will make it much easier to convert a measurement to use based on what you have. And also for parents, you can use this as an opportunity to teach math to the children, or the children can also challenge the parents by using the measurement chart to, to refresh our memories as parents, right? Because the children don't, the parents don't always have to teach the children can also teach the parents, right? Right, parents in the background, we can learn from the children as well, right? And you know what? Sometimes when they ask us questions, we may not remember, so we can then, flip it on them and challenge the mind so that in a sense they are actually teaching us, by now having to think more about it and then tell us what what the answer is, or help us to solve that question that they themselves would have asked. So the measurement sheet is again an opportunity to teach math. The cooking terms, you can teach English there, you can teach language, you can even teach Bible, because you can then go back to the Bible, as we looked at the other day, on cooking terms, that the cooking methods, right? Cooking methods that they would have used, such as seething and boiling and roasting, and even, right, and even history can come in there, where you can even look at how they used to roast, right? They used to roast back then, and how we roast things now, and how they used to overall cook back then, and how we cook now, and how it has impacted our health, the way how we cook now versus the way how they cook back then, right? And then finally, again, you don't have to include all of these pages, but you can, and they don't have to be on one whole page. Maybe you can put the safety tips and the cooking terms on one page, or so on. You don't necessarily have to use an entire page for each of those that I have listed before prior to the recipes. And then, of course, a recipe book must contain recipes, right? This is what the book is really about. So you're going to include all the recipes that you want to include. And again, you can also add a few blank pages. Like if you're going to print your books to sell or to give as gifts, you can also include a few blank pages for persons to write, just a couple of their own recipes in it. And also, if you're going to keep your book at your home, or the one that you're going to keep at home, you can include some blank pages so that you continue to add new recipes to your book. And at the end, you can also include some, well, not at the end, but in the book, you can also include some did you know tips. So you can say, did you know that did you know that guava contains, or did you know that guava is one of the highest sources of vitamin C? So you can write little did you know tips like that to to make your book more educational and at the same time fun, right? And of course you're going to include your pictures, right? That makes the book more interesting and attractive, and so on. And you can also structure your book in categories. So you can just put recipes as they come to you, or as you discover them, as you try them, or you can put them in categories, meaning you can put breakfast recipes first, then you can have your lunch or dinner recipes. So you're going to put all of your breakfast recipes first, then all of your lunch or dinner recipes first, then all of your supper recipes, and all of your dessert recipes. So you can put them in categories like that. Or you can put all of your raw recipes first, and then all of your cooked recipes afterwards. Or you can just put them in different categories that you want to, or you can just put them in it as you have them. Right? It's better to put them in categories That way it's more orderly. Right. Any comments? Any questions? Anyone wants to add anything?
No.
Okay. All right. What's going on? All right, so here's an example of a book structure. As it says inside this book. And you see the introduction, you see the page number, then it says things you can do, things you need. So you can also put like an equipment list of the basic things that you will need to make the recipes that are in the book. All right, so you have your breakfast here, you have your main meals, you have your snacks, and of course we don't snack in between meals. So when we as Adventists speak about snacks, our snacks go along with our meals, right? So if we make, like say for instance, we make our own cookies, which we did for Sabbath, they were so lovely, right? So if we make our own cookies, we're not going to have our cookies in between lunch and breakfast. We're going to have our cookies with our breakfast or with our lunch. You understand? So that's how we include our. I don't even like the name snack because the name snack means something that you have in between. So we say maybe treat. So instead of writing snacks, you can write treats. And those we have them along with our meals, not in between our meals. So we can have them for our supper, which is our evening meal for those who have supper, and even desserts and sweets. Sweets, when we talk about sweets, we're not talking about candy, lollipop and those kind of things. We're talking about like baked products or sweets or fruits or our natural sweets that God has given us. I have a list of a few that I have discovered, like our guineps. Those are some natural candy, our lychee, our tambourine, our locust, our just basically our fruits. Which other one was there? Which other one we I don't remember all of them, but right. And you can make your own little carob bars or your we made the ginger candy and the gummies. But again, we don't have those in between. We have them as a part of our meals. All right. So once again, this is a little example. We they probably won't hear me. Just a minute. Sorry. Oh. Mhm. Right. So we right. So you can have your table of content page, something similar to this. All right. Next. Yes. So and here's another example of how you can structure your book. This is more like for even for the younger children. For the younger children, if you see over here, you see that it's actually on the like the little index cards, or you can print it in smaller form instead of a big page. You can maybe print them smaller, especially like for little children. You can put them on a ring like this as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in book form, but you can just put them on a ring. And even this you can do from home. You don't necessarily have to print, right? So you can get some index cards and customize it just as how you see this one is customized. And you can write your recipes as simple as this, right? So at the top, you see the cover page, my little recipe book. And at the bottom, you see an example of a recipe, of how simple it is written, right? So here's another example of how maybe the bigger children can put together theirs. So you see the ingredients, you list the ingredients, the instruction or direction, a little note and a cook time, and maybe equipment needed and so on. And this is just another example again of how you can categorize your recipes. All right, and so for printing now, after we have constructed our recipe books, put together all our recipes and the additional information, you're going to choose, like when you're going to print, you can choose what type of paper you want to print them on. You have the gloss magazine type of paper that's a little bit more durable. You have cardstock, and you have the regular paper. And if you're going to print at home, you will choose which paper you will purchase or just use what you have. And we want our recipe books to have a little durability. So even like the cardstock papers that we use, those are a little thicker than the regular paper. And to even make them more durable, some persons have access to laminating them, or you can use a tape. You can use a clear tape and cover them. You can let your parents help you so that it looks very neat. And they also have the book cover. They have a those those it's like a laminating sheet thing, but it sticks, that we usually use to cover the books for the children to go to school. So you can also use those and cover each page, and then you bind them together so that way, especially when you're in the kitchen, they don't get wet, they don't get messy. So they last long and still look neat and tidy. Is everyone still hearing me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Right. So if you're going to print, as I mentioned before, you can send to either you're going to print at home and then you staple and bind them together. Or if you're going to print at a shop, you send through email to the printing shop and they will print it for you. They'll also bind it for you and so on. If you're handwriting, after you finish writing everything, you can compile them together, the pages together, along with your cover page, and then again staple or bind them together. And before you do all of that, you want to have someone proofread them for you, especially if you're going to sell your books or give them as gift. You don't want any misspelling. You don't want any misinformation. You don't want to have bake when you should have cook or steam or roast. You don't want to have the wrong terms in the wrong places. So you always let your bigger sibling or your parents proofread them for you before you finalize in printing. And also, as mentioned before, you can include some blank pages. All right, go back. All right, so I'm going to, all right, bye. We'll send the recording so that you can prepare the recipe at a convenient time. All right, take care. All right, so we're going to go into Canva for a few minutes and then we go into our cooking. All right. Let me just show you how to do one. So again, we're going into create. Let me start again. You click on create. You can type in blank. You can type in blank plant-based recipes. Let me type in recipe cards. So I type in blank plant-based recipe cards. You not necessarily have to do that. Remember, you have to choose one that is without the crown. Let me take a. Let me just put. I was looking for one that is colorful. I'm looking for one that is colorful. One that is colorful and simple. Let me choose this one. Let me see this one. So you can just scroll through and right. So I'm choosing this one. Are you seeing it?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So can someone give me the name of a dish? So you see it says name of a dish. We're going to put the name of the dish right there.
Soup. Soup. Oh, cereal. Cereal.
Cereal.
Oh, granola.
All right. Let's put the recipe that we are making now.
The Pop Tarts.
I'm going to be making pop tarts.
I remember to change the
Let me put some little color.
Okay.
All right. From the kitchen to edit this one, you see at the bottom it says text. You click on it, click on add a text box, and then you type. Right? And then you type. So who should I say? Whose recipe is this from? Let me just put my key. And then you drag it. You can drag it into that slot from the kitchen of Michaela. Again, you can change the colors if you want. The ingredients, because there was no words there, so there's no text box, so you have to add a text box. If the words were already there, you could just edit.
Yeah, double tap.
Right. So this is a blank sheet, so you have to add a text box. 2.5 cups flour. Quarter teaspoon salt. 1 cup nut butter, and so on. So you just you keep adjusting and let it fit into your box. But what you want to ensure is that you're using the same font for each recipe. You don't want on some pages it's small and on some pages it's too big. And the best font to use is around 12 or font size. All right, let's use 11. So if it doesn't fit in, uh, 11 will be. And if you create some recipe books to sell, let them print like one copy first for you, or at least one page first, or you print one page first to see how it looks in reality before you print all of the pages, and then 12 copies of of your recipe book, and then you don't like how it looks. Right, and then you're going to waste money, time, and resources. So always print one page first, not one entire copy of the book, but one page first to see how it looks in reality. Right, and then you could just edit the rest of it. Again, you can add a picture. Let me find a picture. You can resize. You can resize, and then you can add it somewhere on your thing. Alright. And then you just fill out the rest of spaces with the rest of the information. You can also change the color if you don't like the green. You can add different colors. Make sure whatever color you're adding, the words are still visible. So you don't want to add a dark color like this and you're not seeing clearly what the words are saying. Right? All right. Any questions? Do we understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're going to try it out on your own. If you need any help, you can always ask me. Well, you can always ask your parents. And if you still need help, you can always message me for help and I'll assist you. All right. The more you try, the more, the better you get, and you'll get a better hang of it. I am still learning, but the more I do it, is the more I get a better hang of it. It's just like the Bible. The more we read God's word, is the more God reveals His truth to us, and better our understanding become. All right. So you press, you download, you save, and then you can send to print. Right. Automatically, it will save. So you can also just press home and move on to your next creation. Right. So let me just show you a run through of all my creations. So I also use Canva to create my my presentations that I do, that I am actually now. So like what I do, I don't start from scratch for all of them. I just click on one and create a copy, and then I just edit instead of starting from scratch, and to maintain the same background and template. I just edit. So this is where I do almost all my creations as well. Let me see if I find any recipes that I did. I'm looking for a recipe. So this is a children natural remedy brochure. Another time we can do things like this, how to make brochures. So the internet is a little sluggish, so taking a while. But maybe the next series that we do, we can make some tracks. So this one needed some editing, but I'm just showing it to you. It's very slow. Right, so on this brochure, we also have a little recipe. Are you seeing the recipe?
Yes. Nice.
Yes, so it's a get well smoothie. Let me zoom it up, so if you want to take a screenshot to include it into your recipe book, you can. You can take a screenshot if you wish. All right. So as I mentioned, next time when we do another medical missionary classes for our children, we will look at creating more. So we have, this is another thing that to include in your recipe books. Maybe you can put one or two simple remedies. All right. So again, you can screenshot these, and if you wish, you can add it to your recipe books. So it's not just diet recipes for the diet, but also for when you're sick. So this is a simple cold medicine, cough medicine that you can use, that you can include. Also earache. This one is for teething. You have a natural antibiotic there. Again, I'm encouraging you to screenshot and add to your recipe books. All right. All right. So that's it. All right. Let's go back to today's. We're now going to go into our recipe for today. So we are heading to the kitchen now. Let me see the hand of those who will be cooking with us today. Sorry. So Akemi, anyone else will be preparing any of our recipes today with us? Okay. All right. For those who will not be preparing, you can just pay attention and also take notes. All right. Let me try. Set up here. Can someone take the screenshot and put in the group for me, please, in the chat? You just work with it. Because I know it is pretty tight. Hold on. Hold on.
It's cracking up badly, ma'am.
Sorry. Can you take the other one as well? Oh well, okay, we'll pray for Abigail. We do pray that she will feel better. Tell mommy to put some aloe vera on her wrist to soothe it. Tell mommy to put some or put some ice on it first and then wrap some aloe vera on it to soothe it. I was asking somebody to take the yes, to take the screenshots of the recipes for me. All right, let's move on because time is going. All right, let me. All right,
Excuse me, miss.
yes, yes, Akame.
Can we use oat flour for the cereal?
Yes, I'm using a mixture of oat and a little spelt.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Um, wash hand. I'm coming. Give me 1 minute, please. Uh, I'm trying to um, see what they're doing. Yes. All right, that we have to do. Mhm. All right. Like I can't zoom it. Your phone? Who's that? All right. So I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for the delay. All right. So we are going to start with our pop tart. And so we have 2 cups of flour. We're using a mixture of oats and spelt. All right. And to that we'll be adding a half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt and we'll also be adding let's stir our salt and flour. If you have coriander, cardamom, you can add that. If you don't, then you don't add anything else. We're going to be using 1/4 cup of water and I'm not using 1/2 cup of oil. Instead, I'm using 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of oil. I'm adding all my wet ingredients in one, and also 1/4 teaspoon of no 1/4 cup of sweetener. We're using honey. And then we're going to add that to our dry ingredients. Somebody's mic is open. We're going to add that actually. I'm kind of doing this a quicker way, but I'm going to need, I'm starting in with the spoon a little first, then with my, if you need with your hand, I'm just stirring in with the spoon. And then you put this to sit, or you put it in the fridge for about 15 minutes. I'm just going to put it aside and work on the other one. So in the meantime, I'm now going to preheat my oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Akemi,
What did you say, miss?
how are you coming along?
Well, slowly because you went too fast, so I'm trying to catch up. But good thing we have the ingredients and mom's food.
All right, let me tell you them again. So it's your 2.5 cups of color, and so that you're adding your half teaspoon of salt,
Yes.
adding a half teaspoon of, if you have cardamom or coriander, you could also add a tablespoon of ground flaxseed if you want,
Okay.
and then you stir it together. Just a quarter teaspoon of cardamom.
We don't like cardamom.
We don't like
Okay.
cardamom.
It's too strong.
All right. Yes, it's strong, so you have to use a very, very small amount or not at all. And then you stir together your wet ingredients. Sorry, stir together your dry ingredients. And then you're going to whisk your wet ingredients together in another jar, in another container. So I had initially put half cup of coconut oil, but you can use quarter cup of coconut oil and use half cup of water instead. So you're going to switch the measurement, right? So use half cup of water and quarter cup of oil just to reduce the oil. And then your quarter cup of sweetener and just mix them together and add to your dry ingredient. You got that? Sorry? Did you say something?
Use
No,
the oil
miss.
first. So they stop it. It will come up. Go ahead, put it in. She's trying to catch up. You put the oil on it first, and you know the honey gonna drop on it. Smooth butter.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Akemi, will you be making both recipes?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Let me know. Let me know when you finish that one.
Hey, miss.
Mm-hmm.
Allergic reaction.
Smell grateful. Smell grateful. How are you? Chop your makeup, man. Something. Mhm. All right, so we're just waiting on Kemi, and then we move on to the next recipe.
How much water did you use again, miss?
Half cup and quarter cup oil. Coconut. Well, we are using coconut oil.
In the fridge?
Sorry.
Mix all these and then put it in the fridge.
Yes.
All right.
And then preheat your oven, and we move on to the next one now.
Okay, thank you.
And you don't necessarily have to put it in the fridge. You could just let it stay aside. Probably don't put it in the fridge so it don't get too firm. Just put it aside.
All right.
All right, so we'll now move on to the next one. Come on. All right, so for our cereal, we have 1.5 cup of flour.
Excuse me,
And we're,
miss. Sorry.
yes, Akemi?
What else can we use if you don't have the nut butter? Cause I'm allergic.
Oh, you're allergic to the nuts. Okay, you have any other milk? You have milk? You have coconut milk or anything?
We do have cashew milk.
Yes, you can use a little milk. You can use half cup of milk.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So again, we're using a mixture of oats and a little spelt, flour, 1.5 cup, and we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of flax or chia, ground. We're using chia. All right, so we're using our flax, our chia, our flour, and our salt, and we're going to mix. All right. We are finished there, and we are going to use our nuts, butter. Well, I just blended some sunflower seed with a little water. Right. We're going to add that. So our mixture, if you don't have any nut butter, you can just add how much milk? Let's say half cup of milk, or just add a quarter cup first, and as you need, you will see how much more you need. Alright, Akemi, don't add the full half cup at once. Add a half first. Half of the half. How much is half of a half, Akemi?
What did it say, Miss?
How much is half of a half?
A quarter cup, Miss.
1/4.
Yes. 2 1/4 or 2 quarter cups make 1/2. So I was saying, don't add the full half cup of water yet. Let's add a quarter of that first. And we're adding our sweetener, which is some honey. A quarter cup of honey. Fill up your thing. And we're adding a teaspoon of molasses. So instead of vanilla, we use just a little molasses to give a little, just a little additional flavor in it as well. Not a whole lot, just a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon. And we're also going to sprinkle in a little, we don't have any carob chips, so we're using some raisins. We're adding some raisins. And then we're going to fold in everything. We're folding it into a dough. And if you notice, we have not used any baking powder or any baking soda in any of our bakings. Why?
Because baking soda has
No, does it have
it's not
aluminum?
good for our bodies. It
Right.
breaks down our body.
We're counseled by
Because
God that. Yes.
Because it will cause indigestion. And
Yes, and
yeah, you didn't put
it,
any eggs in there either.
right, it destroys the
Because
stomach
that's
line.
unhealthy.
Yes. So here we are finished. Let me show you the consistency of the dough. Similar to when you're making dumplings, so it's not too sticky. Uh-oh. So see, it's not too sticky. You don't want it too wet, nor do you want it too dry. So don't make it too wet. If you make it too wet, you will have to pipe it. Or if you make it too wet, just add a little bit more flour to get back a firm consistency. So we now have our baking tray. We're going to grease our baking tray lightly. So we're just greasing our baking tray just slightly. I just put in just a small amount of coconut oil and spreading it. Also going to just put a little bit on our hands because we're going to roll. So Oh, this is our cereal. Did we say this is our cereal? So you're just going to take off a small piece and you're going to roll in your hand into a small ball. Not too big. It should not be bigger than your thumbnail. Right? And you're going to try and make them evenly. Akemi, how are you doing? So
I'm
we're
doing.
going to roll.
I'm just trying to catch. I'm on the seeds.
I'm a quarter cup water came in, POC. Water.
Not too small. You want them to all be the same size. And you're putting it on your tray. Mhm. And again, measurement comes into play. If there are different sizes, then some is going to be baked before some going to end up burning. Another way that you could do this is to make it thinner. Just add a little bit more liquid and then put it in a piping bag and pipe them small on your tray and put them to bake. Again, you don't want them too big. When you roll them quick, because it does take time. This one take a little time. If your hands start to get sticky, you just put a little bit more, clean it off, and then put a little bit more oil and roll. There's another way that you could also do it. You could roll it flat on the tray. Maybe we'll do some of that. You could get a like a Ziploc bag and cut it in two. Roll it flat on the tray, and then cut them apart and bake. So just rolling them into little circles. This one is a little time consuming, so if you want cereal for Sabbath breakfast, you'd have to do this from maybe Wednesday or Thursday. You don't want to be doing anything on Friday that takes a lot of time. So they bake quicker than it takes to roll. And if you're using raisins or carob chips, you try to ensure that all of them have one in it. Akemi? Akemi?
What did you say, Miss?
Are you getting through?
Yeah, on the milk.
Okay, yeah.
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes.
Are we to throw in the milk in the batter and mix it up, or throw in the milk on cereal when we finish baking it?
No, the milk is for the cereal. But you're using a little to make your butter. The one that when you say you didn't have the nut butter, you're using a little milk in place of that. But the milk on the recipe is to have with the cereal afterwards.
Okay, Miss.
Mm-hmm. You just have to try and keep them in uniformity. So to make cereal for everybody in the household, you know what will have to happen? Everybody will have to come and roll. Because if mommy alone going to roll them, it's going to take a little while. But if everybody rolls, it will be done much quicker. And if you have a favorite cookie recipe, you could just make those, roll them into smaller cookies or just small balls, and that's basically cereal. You don't have to go and buy cereal. You can use your favorite cookie recipe to make cereal. Alright, so I'm going to show another way.
Sister K,
Yes,
did you put your video off? Because we can't see anything from our end.
you cannot see?
Yeah.
Are you not seeing the video now?
Yes, miss. Your balls look cute.
So
Wow.
what did sister say just now?
I said your balls look cute.
Okay, thank you. Some of them are not as uniform in shape, some are little. If you don't keep focus, you end up rolling some bigger than some. Maybe you'll have to take out the smaller ones first, but just try to get them in the same shape as much as is possible, the same size rather.
Miss,
Yeah.
does the balls get really hard?
Yes, you're going to bake them for about 15 minutes, depending on your stove, your oven, so that they become crisp.
Okay.
Yes, so again, you can have a Ziploc bag and cut it in half. I'm going to roll out the remainder just to show another way. So I'm rolling it into a ball. I'm folding the bag over it, and I'm going to roll it out. I'm going to roll it out flat. As flat as maybe a cracker. Let me show you how flat I roll it. You see, it's not too thin, not too thick. I'm going to then place it on my tray. And then I'm going to use a knife to pierce them, to score them. Again, should be uniform as best as is possible. It's almost like a cracker. It's almost like you're making crackers, but it's just flavored a little bit more. It's more sweet. You're adding a little bit more sweetener to add to your granola. to have a cereal. So I'm going to put this in the oven now, and then we're going to roll out our Pop-Tart. Okay. So we're going to put on like 15 minutes. You want to keep watch of them because remember they're small. You don't want them to burn. Kemi, how are you doing? Kemi? Kemi?
Cornflakes.
Sorry?
We are making cornflakes.
You're
You
making
have corn in it?
Well,
you're
Shaping
rolling
them.
we are
it out.
shaping them as corn. No cornflakes in them.
No corn in them. I have flakes.
Okay,
No corn. Oh,
okay,
no.
okay. So
Make it
I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to the Pop-Tart. So you just follow along as you're finished. You hear?
You do.
All right. So we're going to roll out our dough for our Pop-Tart, and it feels very pliable and soft and nice. So it's not sticky. See? It's not sticky. It's very nice. Very soft and nice. And you can use this as a crust for pie as well. So you could just roll this into a pie dish. Try not to over knead it too much. I wasn't kneading it. I was just kind of putting it from hand to hand to kind of form it more into a ball. Don't want to knead it too much for it to be tough. So I'm just going to, again, I'm using my plastic. In the use of plastic, but when I'm rolling stuff, it makes it a little easier.
Because it won't stick to the...
Right, it won't stick to the surface.
Or you can,
But you can,
but you can use flour.
right, you can flour your surface or you can oil it to prevent it from sticking as well. Right, and then I'm going to roll this flat into a rectangle. Don't want it too flat, neither too thick. You don't want it too flat, so when you take it up, it's breaking apart. But you don't want it too thick either. And also this, you can use it for cinnamon roll. Well, not cinnamon rolls, sorry. We're accustomed to saying cinnamon roll. But you can use it for a date roll or any filling you want to put in your
Blueberry, strawberry, raspberry, blackberry.
So again, I'm not rolling it too thick nor too thin. I'm cutting off the edges to make the rectangle more perfect. Let me show you how thick I did it. Maybe this could roll a little bit more thin, but this is fine. Are you seeing the thickness?
No, miss.
And let me show you again. Are you seeing the thickness of the dough?
Yes, miss.
Right. So you can use this recipe, this Pop-Tart recipe for a number of things. You can use it for so I'm going to cut it in. Let me see. I'm cutting this into four widthwise. And then I'm going to put so I'm cutting my dough into 8. Actually, it should have fit into 12. My measurements are off. You should get actually 12 pieces out of it. But mine, maybe I needed to roll it a little bit more flatter. But I'm going to work with it for now. What you could also do, you could also use a cookie cutter and cut some circles. That way, for sure, you know that you're getting the right size. So I'm not shaping them up a little bit more. And you can fill these with anything. You can fill it with vegetables, some steamed vegetables. You can fill it with some lentils. You can mash up chickpea and fill it. We're using our prune jam. We made a fresh batch this morning. So you're putting filling on only half of the dough slices.
Is that the prune spread? Hello.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yes. We're using our prune spread. So we are putting it on one half of the sheet, the dough. And just spreading it with leave a little space at the edge. Don't spread it all the way out. Whatever, as I said, you can fill it with whatever. You can make it a sweet tart or a savory tart. You can just simply mash some fruits together, and then fill it. Don't make it too don't put too much filling in it. So now what you're going to do is use one of the empty sheet to cover one of them that has filling on it. But not to carry it out too much to the edging. Sheets are equal. Remember to use something to cut them out. If you have to get the measurements correct, use something like a cookie cutter or so on to cut them out to ensure that they're equal. Again, I'm oiling another tray to put our tarts on. Just a little bit of oil to prevent them from sticking. And I'm going to seal. I'm going to seal my edges with a fork just by crimping them. So what you do is you can wet it a little in the water so it doesn't stick, and then just press a little on the side. So you need to seal all 4 edges. Are you seeing? Like you just see this, and then you can just do a little one at the top, so it doesn't puff up and it crisps easier. So then I'm going to put it on my tray and seal the rest of them. And these go well with your breakfast, or you can make them bigger. Here in Jamaica, we call them patties, or we put like curry lentils. I didn't have this. We put ackee in it. We put any kind of filling in it, callaloo, or for some person. It's like a turnover. For those in America, it's like a turnover. It's basically the same thing, but they give them different names. So they call them pop tarts. The sweet ones, like what we're doing now, are called pop tarts. The savory ones are called turnovers, or we call it patty.
Or empanadas.
Or empanadas. All of them are basically the same thing with just a little difference. So with our scraps, which is the pieces that are cut off the sides, you just form it into a ball again, roll it out, and you can also use that for, to make additional parts or something else. So I'm going to use this little for a roll. So if you're making like, say, a roll, you just put the paste on it just the same, leaving some edges. You don't carry it all the way out to the edge. And for all of these videos, I'm going to try to do them over in short form and more visual, so you can see them more clearer. I don't promise when, but I will try to do them over so that, they're easier to, I know on the recordings, you have to scroll all the way down to the end to find them. So I'm going to, do them in short form. So I'm just spreading the date, no, not date, the prune jam or prune paste, prune spread, spreading it, not fully covering the dough, just leaving some edges empty. And then what I'm going to do now is to roll it over. So I'm just rolling it. Are you seeing? Are you seeing?
Yes, Miss. Miss.
And then what I'm going to do now, Akemi,
Yes.
I'm going to slice. Usually they use a string to get a cleaner slice. Somebody's wrong. I should really use a string to get it to not squeeze so much. So are you seeing the rolls? You see?
What did you say, Miss?
I was asking if you're seeing the prune rolls.
Yes, Miss. We are still on the flakes too.
Okay. So this is
So we're trying to do two things at once.
okay.
Mother.
So I'm going to put these on the tray as well and bake them.
Yeah.
And you can do a
Yeah.
whole lot of different things. You know, you can get very creative in your shapes and your designs and so on. So I'm going to put this in the oven. So I'm going to put these in the oven to bake for 30 minutes. It depends on how thick or how thin you roll them. Right? So I'm going to put them in the oven and I'm going to check on our cereal in the meantime.
Where's your gun? Where's your gun to shoot it? Here.
All right, so we are going to end now. We will send you the finished product because the cereal are not yet finished. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Right. So the cereal are not yet finished. So we'll send you how it looks when it is completed. All right. Any questions before we ask our volunteer to pray for us? And Akimi, if you need more help, you can just message me. All right. Any
Miss, we are almost
questions?
done. It's only the top that we are waiting for because my brother is making the sauce.
The sauce for what?
The chickpea.
Oh, you're going to do chickpea.
Yes, Miss.
Akemi, you're having too much fun. Sounds like you're making dinner.
Yes. I said, Mommy, those flakes are dinner.
Sorry?
I was making it and then I said, Mommy, we can have those flakes for dinner.
Yes. So they can be made as dessert, or as an accompaniment with your meals, or they can actually be a meal.
We
Right? You can actually.
did chickpeas
Sorry?
because I like chickpeas and my brother likes chickpeas.
And we have no jam.
And also my brother right now he's trying to eat all the chickpeas.
He's trying to eat. Tell him it's not eating time. Right. So these are some of the things that we usually prepare for Sabbath lunch as well. We either for a treat, or just like how you're filling with the chickpea, we make it like a main dish. So you make it bigger for an actual main dish, and they're very satisfying rather than the regular things that we would eat throughout the week for lunch. Right. Any other comments? Any questions from anyone else, even though you were not able to make it today?
Does the flakes get really hard?
The cereal?
Yes.
Yes, you're going to bake it until it's you're not going to bake it until it's super tough, but you're going to bake it until it's crisp on the outside, and then when it cools, it's going to get crisper. So that when you put it in the milk, it don't just melt away so easily. And then
Okay.
when it's cool, you're going to store it into a a jar.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes,
How high are we have to? How high is the oven supposed to be?
350 Fahrenheit degrees Fahrenheit.
Three. Okay, thank you, miss.
Yes. Right. So if there aren't any more questions or comments, somebody was asking if it's blackstrap molasses. As far as it's possible, use the blackstrap molasses. Right. Somebody, can you use corn flour? Is corn flour the same as cornmeal, or it's more refined? So yeah, and coffee, you can use any flour that you would usually use to make your cakes. You can use it. If it won't bind properly together, hold properly together, you can always add the flaxseed or any other like chia or so on to hold it together. But it's basically like you're making a cookie. So any flour that you can use to make a cookie, to make it firm and hold together, then you can use that as well. Can we add coconut? Yes, you can add coconut. You can add coconut. So the recipe that I gave is just a basic recipe, and then you can add in different things that you want to add. You can also use you can add a little carob powder. I know I'm talking a lot about carob, but it's a wonderful ingredient. If you can get it, it really replaces the need for chocolate for those of us who loved chocolate. So you can also add a little carob powder to it to make it carob puffs or whatever it is. Yeah, and then you can add a whole lot of different other variations. So it's not the same thing all the time. So it's the same base, but you add different add-ins. All right. So we're going to close here for today. We're asking for a volunteer prayer and also to pray for Abigail, who was it as she fell down? Let me refresh my memory. How is Abigail doing now? Michaela also fell down. Oh, your wrist?
Yeah, it's still broken.
Is it feeling a little bit? You broke it, or is it sprained?
It's broken. So
It's broken?
Yeah.
So your parents are there?
No. Mommy, okay, so we're at mom's job. So mom's working.
So your mother know what happened?
Yes, so I was riding my scooter and I was going really, really fast because our road is like going down the hill, and I put my foot on the ground to go even faster, and then I flipped over the scooter, and then I broke my wrist.
Yeah, she hit her arm really hard.
So
So
who
it
said
got
it's broken?
Me. I mean,
Well,
well, we went to the
we
doctor
pray
too.
it's not broken.
Went to
We
the
pray it's
doctor.
not broken. So is it wrapped? Is it bandaged now?
Yeah, it's bandaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to mommy later. All right. So we're going to pray. We are asking for a volunteer to pray and also to pray for Abigail. We pray that her arm is not broken, that it's just hurt or
Or
the most.
it might be fractured because one time I fractured my arm too. So I
Okay, so
think it might be fractured.
What did you say to her?
So
so you have a history of injuring yourself, Abigail. You have to be more careful.
Yeah,
All right.
I had the worst injuries.
All right. We're going to pray for you. And also Michaela, she fell down, but she's good now. She's fine now. So who wants to pray to close out for us?
I can.
Okay, go ahead, Charity.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for loving us. Please be with Abigail's wrist. Please help it to feel better. Help it not to be broken. And I love you. And please be with as we continue this program. Please help it to continue to go well. And please help us to learn more recipes. In your name I pray.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much. And we will see you. We will see you again
Amen.
next week, Sunday. We won't meet again until Sunday. And so continue to work on your recipe books. And if you have any question, your parents can reach out, and as best I will help.
It's tomorrow.
So
It's tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right?
no, we meet again on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Right, we're not doing as much days as we did last week.
Okay.
So for the rest of the time, we meet next Sunday and then the final Sunday in April, and then that will be it for now. That will be it for now until we put together something else for all of you. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let me stop the recording, and then you can have a few minutes to say hi, hello to each other.